Okay, hello, hello, welcome to Table Talk. We got,
Me.
yeah,
Brandy Wigan.
put you on the spot there.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to say it or.
I'll let you introduce yourself.
It's Brandy.
Star Director Brandy Wigan and
Christy Harrison.
Director Christy Harrison. Christy had a great idea to do kind of like a roundtable discussion, kind of like a town hall with all the directors on our team once a month. So this is our first one. We're going to be talking about incentives. There's not very many people on here because we didn't give you a lot of notice, and you're probably all drinking from this morning. I'm sure of it. So Christy was just going to say something real quick about this morning.
So I just wanted to say, I know a lot of people aren't really happy with kind of what went on today, but this is just the way that it is with the limited, the LTO warmers. It's just a hit and miss. And, you know, today Brandy was happy. Last week, she was like on a murderous rampage because the opposite happened. And that is the way that it goes. But I just want to say, we have really good teams and there is a solution to every problem. And even though it might not be like that you have the warmer in your hands, like there's some different things that we can do before we go and say, we couldn't get this warmer and this is just whatever, you know. So I just want to say, before you talk to your customers, Cincy usually will have an announcement to say that there's like a pre-order of something, and just breathe. Get yourself together first. Yeah. If you have a person that you can complain to, and you know, we say don't do it on the pages because of the fact that it just gets everybody kind of going, but you can message me, you can message, you know, we can figure it out. So before you go and tell your customers, make sure that you have some solutions, and give Cincy a time to react to as well. So I know.
And I think they've already posted something, so go check the news tab. In the meantime, we're eating chocolate instead of drinking. We might drink later, but now we're eating chocolate.
There you go.
All right, so yes, we all survived this morning. Yay. Hopefully some of us got a little more PRV than we did last night. But we want to talk to you guys about everything about incentives. Incentive, it just started, our spring summer incentives. So March 1st, it goes through January 30th. Just going to give you a little bit of details if you haven't seen already, but you can hop on over to your incentives tab. It works a whole bunch like the Sensational Start Award. So there's 3 levels. Level number 1, $1,000 in PRV in that time, and 1 new consultant that was sponsored in that time who becomes certified. Level number 2 is 2,500 PRV and 2 consultants who become certified. And level 3 is 3,500 PRV and 3 consultants who become certified. So it's pretty simple, but it's not simple to do. So that's why we wanted to talk to you a little bit, just to give you some ideas, and also wanted to just give a little disclaimer. We may be bringing up things about how we've gone on trips and how going on an incentive trips changes this and that and this. And you might be thinking this isn't an incentive with a trip on it. But you get points in all of the different levels for the fall winter incentive, which is a trip, and those points are important. So with that being said, we can kind of just open it up, and we're just going to throw some ideas at you and some different things about incentives. So
I was going to say, from just on the not being a trip, this incentive is set up for you to earn the next incentive. If you earn this one, your chances of earning the next one are so much higher. And I learned that personally a few years ago when they started this summer incentive. It's just so, it's just set up for you to earn the bigger stuff. So think of it as stepping stones.
And the coolest thing this time is that the points that you get for the spring summer incentive, 500 points for level 1, 1,500 points for level 2, and 3,000 points for level 3 for the fall and winter incentive. All of those points are going to be sponsoring points. Last year, they cut them in half. So half were sales and half were sponsoring. And this time, they're all going to be sponsoring, but it's super important. So you don't want to miss out on
That's
that.
really important, because how many of you have would have earned the last incentive if you had 3,000 sponsoring points?
Yeah. Literally.
But on that note, I just want to say these, and I say this all the time, these little incentives are really a trick, because they're waiving a prize. So it makes you do things that you normally every day don't do. And so I think it was funny because I saw some even people at the top, superstar directors, complaining about the sponsoring, but the sponsoring helps you. It helps grow your business. And so this little thing about earning these things, it seems so huge, but really the big prize is when you sponsor, you really grow your team, which grows your paycheck, which grows your business, which grows the people that you sponsor. And if you teach them to do the same thing, it's amazing. So sponsoring is a really important part of this, no matter where you sit in this journey. You guys.
I think Sensi's smart. They make us do things that not only help us earn the incentive, but help us build our business. So.
Right, because when you sell, your reward is your commission. So sponsoring, obviously, you'll start to build a team and earn money there too, but sponsoring is the hard part. So when your kids aren't doing good in school, you don't reward them for doing what they're doing, right? You give them a reward for doing the hard things, for doing things that they don't normally do, for getting that A when they always have C's or B's. So that's what an incentive is about, is rewarding you for the hard things, not the things you should be doing, or the reason you joined Sensi, one of the reasons, not rewarding for what you're doing anyways.
Yeah, because your reward already is for doing your business.
Yeah.
You're getting a payday for it.
Yeah.
So they're not going to double dip you, like reward you.
Do something hard and it might not happen all the time. Like you said, there's superstar directors that didn't earn the Disney trip because they didn't have the sponsoring points. Stuff happens in life and you don't earn it every time. Excuse me. But if you're trying, you're going to grow in so many other ways. And then next year, get that incentive.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, there was the first incentive, Christy. It was at a point where we were kind of close. It was like a month. And I was like, you know how close you are to getting the incentive? And she didn't really know because we didn't really know back then. We didn't have the incentive tracker back then and things like that. But the thing that I think is interesting is she was working her business. She was working her butt off, doing everything she needed to do to work her business, but that helped her earn the incentive. So as long as you're working your business, then you're doing the things, the selling, hosting, recruiting, you're going to be able to earn these incentives.
For sure. And the one thing that I tell a lot of my new consultants is, I think when you sign up and come into a company or whatever, you think, oh, just the people that have been doing it for a while, or just a director or above can earn them. But always, I just want you guys to know that the lower you sit on the totem pole, the easier it is for you to earn an incentive. I mean,
I wouldn't say easier. I would say better opportunity, more opportunity.
More opportunities for points. So if you're driven, like Miss Yuan, it cannot get those $10,000, 10,000 points or whatever for being superstar director because she collected on them. I can't get the 5,000 anymore because of, I'm already a director, where when you're sitting lower, the possibilities are endless for wherever you want to take this. Yeah.
Also just want to say, and I love this quote, and you guys probably heard it before, but if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. There's so many people out there that think I could never earn an incentive. You just have that mindset, and you have to change your mindset, because this gal's earned lots of incentives, this gal's earned lots of incentives, this gal's earned lots of incentives, and lots of people on our team have earned lots of incentives. So don't think you can't do it. just try. And I think when you try, you might just surprise yourself and you might just be going on the next trip with us.
Or earning the Converse. I have a lot of girls on my team that are so excited for the Converse. They want those Scentsy exclusive Converse.
Custom Converse, yes.
That's what I want too.
And just so you know, it's not just going to be one style of Converse. It's going to be like a selection. You're going to have like 10 or 15 different styles to choose from, low top, high top, all kinds of crazy fun things. Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, so it's fun. Yeah.
Look at, she's writing that down. So what we were talking,
Let me just throw out there, just because I forget, I already remembered, but so our superstar director, Jeanette Kroll and Ken Kroll, they are living the Scentsy life, right? They quit their jobs, they're living it good. The incentive plan is their business plan. They don't sit down and write a business plan. They use the incentive as their business plan, the fall winter incentive. So you know it works. It works if you do it. So you're just going to grow your team. And you know, whether you're going to get those sponsoring points, yeah, that's awesome. But guess what's going to happen after that? Your business is just going to keep growing. You're still going to get that residual income. Those people you sponsored are going to sponsor, and it's just going to build your business really wide. And it's fun. I don't know why it's making me admit people. Darn it.
no, mine too.
Hey, hi Valerie. I think on one of the selections when you create it, it's
I usually hit them right though, but I didn't this time. Sorry guys for making me wait.
You're in the corner.
You okay, Emma?
No, you're fine.
You can sit on my lap.
If you scoot that farther, you might be.
Yeah.
Another thing about incentives, if it sounds scary, the 3,500 points between now and March 1st and June 30th, if you break it down into 4 months. So it's $875 a month. Okay, $875.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, like there's a lot of people already got theirs for this month.
Yep, so break it down. So 3,500 might sound scary to you, but not if you.
Yeah, I just no time I just
After today, maybe.
Yeah, they always say that. Break it down in the little baby bites, and it's definitely more doable. And the other thing is I know people, we keep on talking about sponsoring, and people say, I can't sponsor to save my life. You have to ask yourself some questions when you're saying that. And some of them are like, so how many people have you asked that you can't sponsor somebody to save your life? You just got to have some honest, dialogue with yourself, because, I have a Brandy that I do that a lot with, and we'll tell those stories, and then one of us will go, yeah, well, how many people have you asked? Oh, yeah, really haven't. I'm really not on my game or whatever. So this is about, you should be asking all the time about sponsoring, because guess what? If you're not planting the seeds to people, I mean, if you have been planting the seeds for the last year, some of those seeds are going to sprout up, and they've said no. And now they've seen that you earned the last incentive. They see, all the different things. And so maybe they're ready now. Like I just had that happen too. I was like, I don't have anybody. And I re-talked to somebody that I just talked to a month ago. And she said, no. And today she was like, you know what? I think I'm really wanting to do this. So, just have the conversations and keep on having the conversations, and make yourself some little notes. So you have people that are, no, like semi-lukewarm or whatever. And instead of collecting a bunch of host rewards, every time you have a $200 party, or that you're putting a $200 order in, take that $59 and offer it to somebody, or if you have it so it could be $19. If you have somebody, like, bless them that way, instead of collecting a bunch of stuff that you have in your house and your intention is to, have stock on hand or whatever, have a team on hand. So just something to think about.
I was going to say, back to before the sponsoring part. Well, it is about sponsoring, but don't count yourself out. you know, you never know when someone's going to join. So you might have the PRV and it's 2 weeks before the incentive ends, and you have someone join. And how many have had someone join with a host kit and they already have 500 PRV? They've already done the work, and now they all just need 500 by the end of the month. So, and there's your one person sponsored. So work like you're gonna earn it until the very last day, because I'll tell you, before I started earning incentives, that's what I would do. I would get to the end, it'd be like 2 weeks maybe. I'm all, man, I just started a little bit earlier, or if I had just done just a little bit more, I totally could have had that. But I was like, kind of from the beginning thought, oh, I'll never earn that, or I'll never get level 2, or da da da. And then I think, gosh, that's only, you know, 3,000 PRV. It sounds like a lot, but over 5 months, it's not a lot that I could have done just a little bit more each month. So you have to have the game plan. Otherwise, you're going to get to the end, you're going to be like me. Oh, if I had just done a little bit more. So make sure that you have your game plan and your plan. And I printed one of these to show you, so I'm not showing all my people, but like I have this list at home, and I just show, you know, I just keep a list of everybody that I think would be good at it or want to, or maybe has said something that I thought, oh, maybe this person, and every time you have a host kit, offer it to them. Or anytime there's a join special, offer it to them. And yeah.
Okay, how about this? I'm going to throw this out here for you guys. So, and here is a consultant going, but I know she'd be really good, but she spends $100 a month. And what am I going to do if I make her a consultant? Can you guys answer to that? Like, have you lost your best customers?
All the time.
And
But you gain so many more new customers because of the people that they know.
Yeah. If they're spending the money, then their friends will probably be spending the money, and that's way more. And you have to be prepared for that, not only just because of your, you know, you're worried about how much you're going to make, but your customer base, you know, especially if it's someone who already is like a great host for you, you know, they collect orders for you, and now they're going to be getting those orders, your customer base is going to get smaller. So that's really, I would say, the number one thing of sponsoring. It goes all the way back to your customer base, in that you have to be constantly growing your customer base, bringing new people in. Otherwise, I mean, people will stop buying. I have customers that used to buy hundreds of dollars, and I haven't heard from them in so long. You know, sometimes they just burn out, or they move on, or they join your team, or somebody in their family joins somewhere else and they feel responsible to that person. So there's lots of reasons why someone wouldn't be your customer anymore, not just because they join your team. So why not have them join your team before something else?
Because you know what? They make the best customers. Again, if they fall off for some reason, Scentsy consultants are always, you know, former Scentsy consultants are always the best customers. But if you are not expanding your team, you know, always growing your base or whatever, then you're just literally slowly dying.
Yeah.
You know, so you really do have to do that. So even if you don't have a VIP group, you need to ask yourself why, because that changed my business. And I didn't do that for probably 4 or 5 years. And you can also tell people, they get so excited and they want to add their friends, or, you know, when you're hosting parties, maybe your host isn't very good, but you gain these customers that you never would have gained if it wasn't for that sucky host, you know?
Yeah.
And they will be your future customers. They will be your future consultants. And
yeah, and everything kind of plays into that. Like if you do a fundraiser, like that's so many new customers. Maybe they're one-time buyers, but maybe not. You know, even if you get 5 new customers from a fundraiser, doing your monthly subscription boxes, if they give those as a gift to somebody, So sharing all of those things with your current customers just grows that customer base, and it's so important.
Came back and said hi.
One thing I wanted to go back just real fast. When I said break it down by month, kind of don't break sponsoring down by month. Don't wait until June or May to be, don't do one here, one here, one here. Try to do all 3 in March or April, and then work with them to get them certified before the end of the.
Give them as much time as they need.
And 3, guess what? 3 is good, but 5 would probably cover your butt.
Well,
Because 3 of those might not get to certified, but you need a little backup there. So in your head, think 5, and I think you'll have it.
And there's the top 50 trip, which would have been to leadership, which was Mexico. I don't know if they give a number this time, but you know, that is based on your sponsors' CRV. It has nothing to do with you. It's all on the people that you have joined and earned. And so that just adds an extra element. So the more people you can sponsor early, that gives them more time, not to just get certified, but to build up those points also.
Right here, yeah.
So what are some things like, so I always tell people, because I was always scared to sponsor. I didn't want to sponsor in the beginning or whatever, but I really wanted the prizes. And so I would think, how can I say it so I didn't come off a bugger? And so I always say this to people. So come up with things. If you say, you know, like my director, you know, challenged me to ask, you know, however many people to do it. But what I do is I ask people, and when they tell me no, I said, listen, I have told myself I'm going to ask everybody 3 times a year. And so the good news is I'm only going to ask you 2 more times and the year is almost. So if there's something that makes you feel comfortable, because I have to tell you, at first it's hard, you know, or I should say it was hard for me, because maybe it isn't hard for you. But it was hard because you feel rejected, and it really isn't a rejection, but it's whatever you do to make yourself feel better so that you practice. Because with anything, if you practice, all of a sudden it's just natural to you. So just make sure that you're having those conversations and just asking them, and then telling them even why they would make a great customer, a great consultant. Because the number one thing I always get, and I said the same thing, was, I'm not a seller. I'm not a seller. And I go, well, I'm not a seller either. You're just sharing what you love. And that's super easy when customers love the product. That's why there are customers, they keep going back. So all it is like how you like your drink at Starbucks. You're all, oh my God, you have to try this brandy because it is like the best, whatever. And that's all that you're doing. So, you know, make sure that you listen to what they're saying, give them a chance to respond, and then, you know, share your story or share somebody's story that you know on the team or something to let them know. It really isn't just about selling. That's annoying.
So yeah, that is annoying. I'm going to use Emily, who's on, you don't have to unmute or anything, as an example. She might not know this, but last week she posted this like macrame rainbow thing with a essential oil. And she's like, oh, it's a new diffuser, blah, blah. I'm like, huh? And she just posted a picture of it. Obviously it was cute. And so I was like, what is this? And she's like, you just put the oil on it and you can hang it in your car, whatever. And I'm like, oh, that is so cute. That would be so cute in some of the kids' Easter baskets or whatever. And so I went online to buy them. And she didn't say buy this. She didn't even say how much it was or anything. It was just cute and she posted about it and I wanted to buy it. So if you have people on your Facebook or Instagram that are already doing that, ask them to do it for Scentsy. Like, want to make a little bit of money off of doing that. So really, I think when you start to look at who you want to have on your team or to start sponsoring, is you have to build that relationship with them. Yes, sometimes you might already know them and you can just be like, hey, let's do this. But when you start communicating with strangers, my team changed, my business changed when I started having people on my team that I didn't know. Yes, it's like the beginning is great with your core people, but when you get strangers on your team, then it's more, I mean, I love everyone on my team. So if you're watching, I absolutely love you, but it's more like business. So you can kind of treat them more like business rather than my family who's on my team. I'm like, when is the right time to talk about Scentsy? Like, okay, I'm putting my Scentsy hat on as your leader, not as your sister, you know? And so start looking at people that are kind of like strangers to you or not related to you. Friends are okay, but look at them and see what do they do that would be really good at Scentsy, or how they do things. Are they an influencer? Are they on social media? Are they really good at social media? Like, tell them, I haven't done a home party, I haven't done an event, I haven't done a pop-up, home, nothing for a year. You're doing all the same stuff that I'm doing online. Like, you want to try this? So look at those people, pick out some examples of what they do. So when you talk to them, you can say like, hey, you're super good. Like, I saw this post you did. It made me want to go buy this macrame rainbow. You would be amazing like at Scentsy, because that's what I do. Do you want to try it? Like, you don't even have to join. Let's just try it as a party. And it doesn't even have to be a party. It's just you showing things and see if your friends buy, and then we'll go from there. So you have to just really think outside of the box. And if you have someone to talk to about it, your upline, a friend, someone you met through Scentsy, and like bounce ideas off of, that is so good to do it that way. And just look at people you don't know. I mean, not that you don't know, but you know, if you've already tried your best friend, you already tried your sister, like, what about your neighbor? Or what about this person you follow on social media? And use those examples of what they already do to say how they'd be great at Scentsy. Because if someone came to me and said, I mean, you do this, you're so good at this, and you don't have to do it all at one time, like a cold call, you know, but start interacting with them, start building that relationship with them, and then tell them all these great things. I'll be like, you think I'm that good? Really? Okay, I'll, you know, build them up, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Okay.
Yeah, and then you could tell them this. This is the other thing that I always say. You have somebody and you know, like, they're so good, and say, hey, listen, if you don't want to do this, there's no commitment or whatever. I'm asking you to commit like 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months. That's all I'm asking, because for new consultants, they reward you for literally everything you do. So these are all the things that you can earn. So let me help you earn those. And when you're done, you can decide whether this is for you or not. Because once you earn all those things, it is like a feel good that you don't ever want to go away. And all those are, if you're purposeful, you can earn them all. You can earn them all. It's such a great feeling. So you can make sure that you tell them. I always say they just reward for every little thing for a branding consultant. And people have commitment phobia, so they don't have to be committed forever, but once they see all the things, they get around the group, they earn all the stuff, they will definitely want to stay.
They'll drink the purple Kool-Aid.
and that is partially why we try to keep our team pages positive. Like, we've had, in our team, you know, we've had about 10 new people this month, and if they came in and saw, I mean, I know today was crazy, but if they came in and saw a whole bunch of negative, nasty, griping, whining, they'd be like, this is not what I signed up for. So that is a big reason why we try to keep the positivity side on our pages, because, you know, we want to keep it good for everybody when they come in, and we want them to stay. We want it to be a place they want to be. They didn't FOMO, right? How many of you guys are like, oh, I'm missing, you know, I had someone say, I can't be on the call on Monday night because of, for whatever reason, and I'm so sad. And I'm like, oh, I'm sad too, you know? I'm trying to send the link.
When Christy was saying, let them try for 6 months and see if they like it. And once they earn all those things, they're gonna want more and more and more. It's kind of like that when you go on an incentive trip too. Once you go on one, you're never gonna want to not go on another one because you get FOMO bad. And then another thing is the best way to get your spouse excited about Scentsy is taking them on an incentive trip.
100.
Oh gosh, once they go that first time, then they want you to earn it every time too, because guess what? You meet friends from other places. I've met lots of friends and and we like vacation together now. It's like, I don't even vacation with my family that much. We vacation and we're like, oh, are Tracy and Dan coming? Are Karen and Tim coming? We want to know about those kind of things.
Absolutely. They spark friendships. Like our friendship sparked over going on a trip because I wasn't going to go. Then we ended up being good travel partners. And then our husbands were just kind of.
First, the daughters.
First our daughters became like besties. And then we just kept on dragging our husbands together. And now
we can't hang out without them.
Yeah.
I'm going to Christie's. He's like, oh, I'll be done working in like 45 minutes. You want to wait? I'll go with you. I'm like, no.
So they golf together, they do things and they plan stuff without us. And it's just shocking. And it's just kind of nice. I mean, not for Brandy, but.
Another cool thing about meeting other consultants is hopefully when you meet them, you connect and you get their information and you become friends on Facebook. You see how they run their business. And it gives you ideas. All of the ideas that I post on my page are not my ideas. I borrowed them from other people and I borrowed them from other consultants that I see post and things like that. So one of my friends that I've met on the incentive trip, we talk every Tuesday and Thursday night just to brainstorm together. So things like that are irreplaceable and will help you build your business, build that relationship, and make you never want to leave Scentsy. We are really a family. And if you haven't experienced that yet, you will soon, I'm sure.
And that's why I'm going to Disney World in June, and I might have to wear a mask because even though a lot of that, like I would much rather go to a beach or spend my money to go somewhere else, I know that week that everyone's there at Disney, I'm going to be devastated. It's not worth it for me to miss it. Yeah.
I want to throw out there too, one of the best ways to grow your team is to get your team excited about the incentive. I know when the Mediterranean cruise happened, everybody wanted to go on that. Everybody wanted to go on that. And the amount of people who were working their businesses really, really hard that fall and winter was amazing. They were selling like crazy. They were sponsoring like crazy because they had to go on that trip. And that was contagious to their team as well. Everybody was trying to earn that trip. And big things happened on our team when that happened. So yeah, we're not going to the Mediterranean this spring and summer, but you can earn $1,000 worth of product credit, 3 Scentsy, or you can earn those custom chucks, whatever you want, and you're going to earn points for the next trip. So get you excited about it, get your team excited about it, and that's the best way. Because think about it, if your team was sponsoring, you're sponsoring, your team's sponsoring, they're sponsoring, everybody's sponsoring, it makes this crazy snowball effect that will just help grow everybody's businesses. What else you got, girls? Anything else you want to share?
When you're talking about sponsoring, I used to not want to put a flyer, like I would make or have a sponsoring flyer and I would put it, everyone's like, put it in every bag, order them all. I feel like that's just as bad as being salesy, right? I just thought they saw this once, why do I need to give it again? And so I just didn't want to do it. It just felt tacky to me. And so I didn't do it. And then I realized you have to talk to them in different ways, right? So flyers or Facebook or whatever. But then I realized, I used to buy a bulk, right? I'd make one cool flyer and then I'd buy a whole bunch of them from Vistaprint. But then I realized new things catch my attention. So obviously, if I'm using the same flyer, they're going to see it, already read that, toss it away, wasting my money. But so I started making a new flyer every month or so. And it wasn't necessarily new words, it just looked different. It had updated picture, it had updated colors, look at the season or the weather, whatever. And that has gotten a lot more attention. There's a, so that's gotten a lot more attention with, hey Jen, it's not the same thing all the time. So I just make mine on Canva and then I print it at Walmart. They're like 9 cents a piece. They come out really nice. And I'll go, okay, I'm gonna print 100 of these. And then when I run out of those, I print a new set. That's when I make a new look one. And so be genuine. Yes, it's easy to pull something from a flyers page, but that's not you, you know. I just keep using Emily because I know her. But what I do for my business and making something with like plumeria and pineapples, like I'm tropical, I love tropical, that's my thing, my people know it. But she's farmhouse. So she took my flyer and put it in her customer orders. It's just gonna not fit her. It's just a little odd, but absolutely take the idea, make your own flyer, put your family on it, and your people will relate to you and they'll see that you're true and doing what you're doing. And you really work your business. So you're someone that they could trust to teach them to do what you do. So change up those flyers, change, you know, and if you have extras, save it for the next year or print a couple and then rotate them like every 3 months or so, because you have some people who order every month and some who only order every 3 months. So that I have found has really helped conversations because there's new information on it, especially if you use something funny. Like I used to use like really nice pictures of our family or me, but now like, you know, we did one and it was funny because like we tried to take the picture, but like my hair is blowing across my face and my daughter's dress is blowing up in the air and my husband had been drinking, so his hat's on backwards. And I was like gonna toss the picture, but it's funny, right? And I said, you know, we all need a good laugh in 2020. So here's what our family pictures look like this year. And I got so many comments on it because it was authentic, it was us, and it caught people's attention in a different way than just a regular flyer that we've been using.
I love that. I want to say I really love that, and a couple of reasons why is if you've put that in somebody's thing like 3 times or whatever, there's a good excuse to follow up and say, hey, did you see, you know, what did you think or whatever?
Yeah.
And then if they're not interested, then you could literally say, you know, I know you said that you're not really interested. Do you know, can you think of somebody that, you know, might fit this, you know, I don't know, but I would love to like give you a reward for that. However you want to say, because you're either in a text message or whatever, but I absolutely love that idea. Or maybe even add on the flyer, or do you know somebody that would love this? I really love that.
Yeah, that's a good referral program is, you know, if you're not interested, do you know someone that would? I have a girl, well, she might watch this, but there's someone on our team who was referred to me by her mom. I met her mom at an event and she's like, oh, my daughter would be so good at this. So, so she gave me her information and I reached out to her daughter and she joined. So you just got to have the conversations because you never know.
And I think they say something crazy like you need to ask somebody 9 times.
Yeah.
Or bring up the subject 9 times before they'll do. That's a lot. Most people give up. Most people don't even do 1.
Yeah.
3 might not be enough. Maybe if someone will ask you 9 times.
That's right. I mean, and people think it's funny, like you said about your flyer doing whatever. If you say something like, hey, I'm just gonna you know, ask you this many times for the year, and you know, the safe thing is I only have a couple more times and you'll be good.
Yeah.
I literally used that probably like 8 years ago, and 3 people that absolutely said no, and I believed them.
Yeah.
But I told myself I was gonna ask, they've joined and they've been on the team for 5 years, so, or whatever. So it's planting the seeds, what makes you feel comfortable, planting the seeds. Or if you have somebody that would be good, just tell them why. Tell them why, like, hey, because you're great at social media, or because I'm gonna have a drink on the beach with you, like, it would be so much fun. And you got 500 friends, like, come on now.
Yeah.
So,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this incentive, and I'm telling you, I haven't sponsored anybody. I have somebody I think that's going to join. I'm earning this. There is no doubt. And so you guys have to do the same, because this is so much more than $1,000 Apple Card or a $300 Apple Card or a pair of Chucks or whatever. I promise you, the best gift that you're going to get for this is growing your team. And when you grow your team and you teach them to grow, it makes your Scentsy business a lot easier. Like, you're not staying up till midnight trying to make your numbers.
On the last day of the
I don't
month.
know if Yvonne ever had to do that, but I know that Brandy and I would be like, shoot me, like, oh my gosh. And
Please tell me there's one more
Yeah.
update before this.
yeah, and so instead of chasing the people on your team to get your numbers, you should be finding more people to join your team so that it's not stressful like that. And I learned that, quit chasing your team, give them the kudos that they deserve, and notice even people that are just doing their 200 or their $200 every so many months. Those people mean something to you, but go out and find some more of those 200s. I always say that a Scentsy team is like a hairdresser. Hairdressers have the little old ladies that come in every week and get their hair done, and they pay $20, and then there's the people that the heavy hitters, and then whatever, and that's what you need on your team. So we're not just always looking for rock stars, because rock stars can turn into less than, and the less lands can turn into your rock stars. So yeah.
And I might say something that might not be the popular opinion, but I told my team this last week is we said this a minute ago, the first thing to sponsoring is you have to have a big customer base. If you talk to 10 people, maybe one will join. So I'm saying this not as a hobbyist, not as I just want to collect orders and get my discount. This is I want to earn an incentive, and I want to build a business. That's the people that I'm talking to right now. And you can always change, but don't think that I'm saying this because I think everybody should do this. This is for, you want to build a business and you want to earn an incentive. You need to have 2,000 PRV a month, because when you have 2,000 PRV a month, that means you're talking to a lot of people. If you have 500 PRV, that's what you need to get paid as a leader. But if you think about it, if you count your set of the month, maybe you have some club subscription, maybe you get a website order here and there, that's maybe one party. That's maybe 5 or 6 people. That is not enough people to talk to join, to build your team. It just won't happen if you're only doing 500 a month. And I'm not saying you need to set your goal right now of 2,000, but you need to work up to it. It needs to be, if you're a 500 person, next month should be 750, and then 1,000, and keep going till you hit the 2,000. And if you flip a party, in my head, I count that as part of your 2,000, because you helped, you did the work, and now you have a new customer. I mean, a new consultant, and that was the goal of it. But you have to talk to people. If you talk to 10 people, maybe one will join. So if you're only talking to 5 or 6 people a month, it's going to be months before you have enough conversations to even have one person interested. So your customer base is your number one. If you have a small customer base right now, that's where you got to focus. Sponsoring will come if you focus on that. You will be talking to more people naturally. You'll be working with more people. People will start referring you and they'll build their trust in you and the sponsoring will come. So work on your customers first.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if you guys know this, but the number one reason why somebody joins a direct sales company, do you know what it is? Number one reason.
But the number one reason they don't join.
Well, that
right,
too,
same
yeah. It's because somebody asked them. It's not because they love the product. It's not because they wanted to make more money. It's not because anything. It's because somebody asked them. So if you're not asking them, somebody else might ask them. So you need to be asking whether you're comfortable enough saying, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Or, precede that with a compliment, but compliment them. And then maybe, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Or have you ever thought about making money with Scentsy? Those are really super easy things to say that are just a good question to ask. Because you never know, they might say yes.
Yeah, I want to say this too. I think we get into a mindset, a closed mindset sometimes that people are only going to join that maybe need the money or they need whatever. People join for so many different reasons. And we are the ones that make up people's minds sometimes before we even ask. And I'm so guilty of that. Like, oh, she's not going to join because her husband has a really good job and they make good money, they whatever. Well, I've got like 5 of those on my team, so that's not an excuse. Some people join because they want the good energy and be around a bunch of people, or they love Scentsy and they think they just want to order it for themselves or do whatever. But I mean, there is so many more reasons than just even the money. It could be for the trips. They cannot know they're a traveler. Like, how awesome is it when you have taught somebody that they're a traveler and never in their life would they ever do that?
That was you, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, I travel a little bit, but it wasn't anything I didn't really want to do. But now I'm like, where are we going? Like, I mean, what are we doing? So, I mean, I am a traveler. That is like one of the things that defines who I am. And before Scentsy, that wouldn't be in my mindset to say that I'm a traveler, but definitely. So if we're in the business of like, I think sometimes we say things so many times, it sounds so cliche, like we're in the business of changing lives. No, we're in the business of changing lives, of changing people's, the way they think about themselves, the way that they perceive others, just so many things, and they'll never get that opportunity if you don't ask them. And then the worst thing is, you don't ask them, Yvonne's gonna ask them, Brandy's gonna ask them, I'm gonna ask them, and that is not a good feeling. I'm telling you, that is not a good feeling. So you just need to ask, because then you planted the seed. And at least it's there. And maybe they just feel worthy that you even asked.
Yeah.
Because that is the number one reason that people don't join, is because they haven't been asked. And how horrible, and that's what Mary, what's her name? Christensen said, how would you feel if you're sitting somewhere and other people have said they were all asked to join something and somebody didn't ask? So it's not it's not up to us to make up their minds. So you need to ask the question and let them say no, and most of the times it's no, not right now. So I've had so many people join my team that said no for 5 years, 3 years, 6 months,
Yeah, and then when you ask them, they start paying attention, I think. They're like, especially if you tell them why they'd be good at it. Like, I'll use Jen. I was the worst consultant ever for her party. Like, I was late to the live. I forgot this. I had so much going on. It was like right at the beginning of COVID and my sister having a baby. And I was the worst consultant. And I told her, I was like, you did so good. You literally did my job for this party. Like, so once you start telling them those things, then they start seeing themselves that way. And even if they say, no, not right now, now's not a good time, they're paying attention to what you're doing still. or they see like, oh, she did that, or she's doing that, or man, she's never working, and she gets to hang out with her friends all the time or whatever. So you just that they start watching you, and then the next time they ask them, they might say, I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. And I'm like, well, that was better than last time I asked you. So
Baby steps.
Yeah. And that's why you don't wait till the last minute. So start looking, planting, encouraging now, so that by April, May, they're ready.
Yeah. So how many people are you going to ask today, so that, in a couple of weeks you can follow up, or maybe you even in the next month, you're catching their attention? Because the one thing that people don't realize too is people are watching you, even the ones that aren't liking your post, even the ones that aren't commenting, and you should be doing that. I mean, you can give yourself this little, a little experiment. Like, I know you got like 4 friends and you're just too busy to not look at their page, or maybe 4 people, we all have 100 people on our Facebooks that, do I even know who this person is? Like,
Where did you come from?
Well, yeah, where are they? Whatever. Go in and just start reading their posts and start commenting. I mean, or if you want to, just find some people and start commenting. Don't even just like it, but comment. All of a sudden, those people are commenting on your page.
Yeah.
That means that they're going over, they're looking at your stuff and whatever. It's a experiment that I promise you can even take, like, data driven. You start commenting on whatever, all of a sudden they're over in your page, they're commenting, liking, and whatever. So that it's important. And so remind yourself too, it's really important for you to comment on people's stuff. It makes people feel good.
Terrible at it.
And
You're good at it.
no, she's not.
No, I'm terrible at it.
No, but it makes you feel good, and especially you guys can practice in your team pages. Like when somebody posts something, if you've read it, like it, love it, or comment, because you're teaching these people that are future directors and all the things that people are watching you. Like, people are watching you, and you're going to make somebody feel a little bit better about what they've shared if it looks like somebody cared enough to like read it and comment.
Yeah.
So do that and you'll see things change for sure.
I had a friend tell me she finds 4 or 5 people every month to follow. So she goes out, you could do it weekly, you do 1 a week, however you want to do it. But she sets a goal, 5 people a month, new people. There's a lot of different groups. So we're in a German Shepherd group, we're in a lab group, So in these different groups, parent groups, all this stuff, find 5 people to follow and start building a relationship with that person. Start commenting, talking, saying that stuff. And then at the end of the month, you can tell them, I've been following you for the last month, and list out the things that they're great at. Like, I don't want you on my team. I don't want you to make money. I think you'd be so great as a Scentsy consultant. Don't give them a reason why, like, give them examples of why you think they would be good, but don't tell them like, oh, how do they say it? Don't make their why for them. Remember that? So don't tell them why they should think they would be good at it. Tell them why you think they would be good at it. Let them make their own decisions. But if you just start, following a few people every month or every week, build that relationship with them, and tell them why they think that you think they'd be good at it. And there's new people. That's people, not your mom, not your cousin, not your friends from high school, but just go find some strangers and start following them and see what happens.
That's great. That is great.
And don't underestimate the power of flipping a party using the earn host rewards. I found that's my easiest way to get new consultants. So if you don't know how to do that, please ask your sponsor, your director, or my page, and probably your guys' pages too. He clicked on flipping in the search, you could probably find a resource on how to do that. Learn how to do that if you don't know how to do it. It's really smart.
Is an amazing tool.
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like, gosh, I've done so much work. I think Brandy and I had this conversation before where one of us have called the other one and said, tell me I need to flip this party.
Yeah. Tell me I need to give her this 900 PRV party. Yeah.
Yeah, because then on her first day, she's hit shooting star, maybe certified, which will get you what you need for the incentive, and she's off to a great start.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
And you can use the host kit on every single party you want. If the host doesn't want to join, then look in the party. Who was really active in the party? Who was commenting on everything? Who was playing all the games? Who was whatever? Look for those people and reach out to them. Say, hey, Amber's passed on this kit, but I have it. It's $59. Da da da. Especially if they ordered the classic gray warmer. You know, because that's what comes in the kit. Be like, hey, you know, this is $30 or this is $59. You want to give it a try, da da da. So, but the key is, if they didn't do the work, don't give them the PRV. You can give them a discounted kit. You know, if it's your own, like today I closed a party and I had $75 in host rewards. I'm like, I'll give you the kit for free. Like Christy was saying, stop collecting stuff for yourself. Use that kit. It's an investment in your business. But I'm not giving them the PRV. They didn't work for that PRV. That's my PRV. But a host, you would give her the PRV because she did the work for it. Get her going good. But it should be your goal every time you close a party, get someone to give it a try. And just remember that if they are working, great. If they ghost you, just leave it. You know, don't put the effort into, you know, definitely keep in touch with them and send them information, but it happens. I've had so many people that join, even for the $99 kit, and never hear from them. It just happens, and you just move on to the next one. Yeah, Emily, and now look at you.
Do you guys have any questions? You know, we've been yakking a lot.
I know we're
So if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can put them in the chat. Or...
And then if you're rewatching this, still, like when we post them in our individual team pages, be sure if you have any questions or comments or whatever, make sure that that you put them in the comments below, and we'll get them figured out, answered, or whatever we need to do.
Or if you have something to add, you know, if you've had an experience, you know, if you are, you know, champion queen of flipping hosts and always having a new teammate in those parties when you close them, like tell us your tips. Or if you are saying you've never sponsored somebody and you don't even know what to do, put that in there too. Like anything that you have to add, we can address.
For sure. And for those of you that are new, or I just want to say it once again, is that the host join is super easy. So even if your hostess doesn't join, you literally can find somebody else and stick that in there. And you don't have to change where the party's going or anything like that, because whoever you make the host or whatever, you're going to get their email. It's going to go to them.
The starter kit goes to them.
The starter kit will go to whatever the person that's joining fills out. So you don't have to worry about where the rest of the party's going or anything. So they are the ones that are going to do where the kit goes and everything else. And so if you ever have any, because I'm telling you, it's been talked about for a long time, even by directors and above. If you have a question about it, you have all three of us to message. but make sure if you have somebody, don't let that go, because the best time for them to join is when they say they want to. Don't wait, don't do whatever. So if you have questions, message us, comment, whatever, and we'll show you how to get that done for sure.
And I hope that after listening to all of this, that you want to drink the purple Kool-Aid, that you want to earn this incentive, and that you want to get your teams excited about earning this incentive, because that's where it all starts, and just starts this great big snowball effect in your Scentsy business. So you don't let incentive. Tell us which level you want to earn. I hope it's 3. Go for 3. If you don't hit 3, then you'll hit 2 or 1, but go for 3 and see what happens.
That's right. It's easier to hit what you want when you have a goal listed. So write it somewhere that you see it, that you see it, that you see it. Take a picture of the items that you can earn and stick it by your computer. And just write your goal down, because it really, when you're sitting there thinking, I can't do it, whatever, and you look over and see the points for the next incentive or the $300 Apple gift card or whatever, you're all, you know what, I really can work this a little bit better. I can ask this many more people. So write down your goal of what it is. And it doesn't have to be the incentive. It literally can be like, I want to be able to go to dinner every Friday night and not have to budget for that. So, or get a new car, whatever it is, write down your goal, take a picture. That will help you to get all these, which will help you get to your bigger goal if that's what you have. Brandy, you have anything to add?
Just do it.
I was gonna say, somebody say that. Just do it.
Yeah, just, you know, how do I say this? Yeah, just do it.
Try.
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 Yeah, as far as incentive goes, you just have to try. You have to put a plan, you have to want it, and we're here for you to help you do that. So you just have to reach out. You know, there's no way we could reach out to every single one of you. I mean, we could, but it'd be, you know, June by the time we did. But if you want to do this, we are here to help you. So just reach out to us and we'll help you do a game plan. We've got the experience, we have the connections, and the encouragement, the cheerleader, you know. So we just have to know you want it.
I think after people watch this, you need to go get on your incentive tab and just pull it up and take a look at it. And it's so broke down. I think it's really great. And then message us and say, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, go see how many points you have already for PRV, because what was it, 875 per month? That'll get you to level 3 in PRV, and then start making a list of people that you think would be great at Scentsy.
Moon over Jupiter is coming back.
4/8. Yay!
Oh,
Awesome. So pretty.
Finally.
Yeah.
And the pre-order starts on the 24th for Stitch.
oh, yay.
Yeah.
See, there's.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Anything else you find out while you were multitasking, Jen?
Let me unmute myself because I was talking and like clearly couldn't hear me. No, March 24th is the relaunch for the pre-orders for Stitch. Carolina Coast still says TBD, which I'm bummed about, but Moon over Jupiter now says 4/8, so that's exciting because I have several customers waiting for it.
Yeah.
Did they say when Stitch is gonna be delivered if you pre-order?
Let's see. No, it does not say. It just says that they'll be able to pre-order from between the 24th and the 31st. So through the end of the month.
I think it says.
And it is the warmer, both buddies, and both buddies will come with the scent pack, but the scent pack is not being released separately. And you can do a bundle of the Stitch warmer with a Stitch Scentsy bar, but you can't get the Stitch Scentsy bar separately.
Hmm. Well, we've got 30 days to put that in our club, so
Yeah.
you can still get, and it's not sold out, but I wish I had, when I pre-ordered my Mandalorian or the child warmer, whatever, I didn't order the bars. I just ordered the warmer, but now, and I ordered bars because you could, and that's what I did was I sent that to my customers saying, you know, it's coming, blah, blah, blah. And now they all want more bars. So I wish I had ordered the warmer with the bar when I pre-ordered those.
Yeah. Actually, everything is sold out, including the Stitch bar. The only thing that's not sold out is the Angel bar. So even the Stitch wax is sold out.
And the bunny, did that sell out?
I'm back in the queue. I was going to look for that, but I got put in a queue on my website. So I don't know.
A queue for what?
Well, because I think the other regions is about
for the
They get to have some fun now.
They're like, we're gonna mess with people now. Put you in the queue just to order.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are we done recording?
Not yet, I can be.
I was gonna say,
Oh, do you want me to be? Or no?
I know, I was just gonna say one more thing. Since we're gonna do these table talks with the directors, if there's a subject that you guys would like to hear more on or something, be sure to put it in the comments and we'll consider it for a future table talk.
Yeah. And are we keeping it at the same time? We're gonna
No, we're gonna figure it.
Yeah.
But we'll give you more advance notice next time when it's gonna happen, so you can get on your calendar.
You guys, so the other directors can join us too.
Yeah. You're cool. Well, thanks, guys. Our first table talk of many.
Have a
We'll
good,
see you.
good week. Happy Monday.
Adios.